What if I told you one company has influence in banks, tech, media, housing, and maybe even parts of your future, yet most people have no idea how powerful it really is? It doesn't run for president. It doesn't dominate headlines every day. And chances are, you've heard the name without ever realizing what it actually means. BlackRock, a company so massive, its financial reach stretches through the very systems millions of people depend on, often without them even noticing. And once you understand how modern power really works, you may never see the world the same way again. When most people think about control, they picture presidents, billionaires, or powerful politicians making the biggest decisions. But in today's world, real power can look very different. It doesn't always stand at a podium. Sometimes it sits quietly inside markets, inside retirement funds, inside corporate boardrooms. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, overseeing trillions of dollars. That number alone is hard to process because this isn't just money sitting in one vault. It's influence spread across investments, pension funds, ETFs, retirement accounts, and shares in thousands of major companies, banks, big tech, pharmaceuticals, energy, media, housing. So while most people think they're choosing between competing corporations, the deeper reality is often more connected than it appears. Because when institutional capital holds major stakes across entire industries, influence becomes structural. And that's where the story changes. BlackRock doesn't need to own the world in some cartoonish way to matter. Its power is more sophisticated than that. It exists in allocation, in shareholder voting, in investment direction, in shaping which sectors grow, which companies expand, and which systems remain financially dominant. Now think about your daily life, your savings, your retirement, your job market, the companies you buy from, the markets that affect inflation, housing, and opportunity. The deeper you look, the more financial architecture starts to matter, and BlackRock's role inside that architecture is impossible to ignore. But this gets even bigger because BlackRock also operates Aladdin, one of the world's most powerful financial risk analysis platforms. This system helps major institutions monitor assets, assess risk, and navigate volatility. In simple terms, when enormous financial systems need to understand danger, platforms like this can influence how decisions are made. And during times of crisis, scale matters because institutions with deep market intelligence don't just observe instability, they can help shape responses to it. Now, does that mean BlackRock secretly controls everything? No. Reality is more complicated than internet conspiracy. But here's what makes this conversation important. You don't need secret world domination for concentrated influence to matter. You just need enough size, enough reach, and enough presence inside critical systems. And that's where people start paying attention. Because in modern America, power isn't always about ruling from above. Sometimes it's about being deeply embedded within the systems below. The systems people rely on but rarely examine. And that may be the biggest shift of all. We were taught power looks like kings, presidents, or public figures. But modern power can look like asset flows, algorithms, institutional ownership, quiet concentration. So no, BlackRock may not control your every move. But when one company's influence touches corporations, capital markets, retirement systems, and global finance, pretending it doesn't matter may be the bigger mistake, because modern power doesn't always wear a crown. Sometimes it manages assets, sometimes it shapes systems, and sometimes the biggest influence is the one hiding in plain sight. So maybe the bigger question isn't just how powerful BlackRock is. Maybe the real question is who controls the system above it? Who really controls America? Tap the next video on your screen right now, because once you see the full power structure, everything changes.